Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
I
Okay.
thought it was longer. Fuck.
Nah, bro, hour and a half. But that felt like 3 hours of kind of epicness. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like a movie done so good that it makes you think you've been there for a long time, even though it's only an hour and a half.
Mm.
I like that movie, man. I like that. That's my first time.
Yeah.
Hero 2002. First time seeing that. That's a good movie, man. I like that. And Hero is a fitting name, I think, for where they were going. I think with the story, like it's. I think the coolest thing is the layers of the different versions, I guess. Like Everything Everywhere All at Once, that movie where they layer on like different realities on top of each other to showcase that it's not some simple, I don't know, like sacrificial lamb shit, martyr shit. Like there's layers to it. There's reasons for things. There's contemplations of things. That's what makes stories like super duper interesting. And this movie kind of achieved that through, I'm not going to say dialogue. They did it through obviously showing you things, right? Showing you the different versions. I guess through the king's imagination. If I'm getting that right. Like Jet Li's maybe putting out a scenario, and the king's like imagining different scenarios, and then there's the actual scenario. But those other alternative scenarios add layers to the characters, which I think is fucking cool. Like their perceptions from different perspectives, from the king versus Jet Li versus someone else. They have perspectives of the characters, which add layers to them. I think that's fucking cool as shit, bro. And to be real with you, I need to fucking watch this one again, bro. I think I need to watch this movie again. Although I'm still impressed from first time viewing. I had no fucking clue, man. Okay. Hero is on my fucking list of like, damn, this might be like a legit fucking movie. Cause that was cool, man. That was cool. Yeah, impressive fucking movie. That's I guess kind of a unique way of doing that, where it's like kind of out of order. It's like non-linear time, where they're telling the story, and then through the imagination of several characters at once, and almost like legends upon themselves, until you get to the actual reality, which is the ultimate sacrifice for the ultimate purest version of righteous expression, which is I will sacrifice myself for the good of the rest, right? As far as hero stories go. So, you know what? I like that shit, bro. I'm with it. Yeah, I recommend. Highly recommend. Good?
I was kind of curious how it was gonna go with like I guess three main characters. How they were gonna balance that out to the end. At the ending, and
Yeah.
and they were all like the most badass fighters, as they show that. But yeah, they were that, but they also all were willing to like lay down their arms or um you know let themselves be vulnerable to someone else killing them,
Yeah.
including the king.
Yeah.
Which, even though the king had a different ending, he also uh, did that. So they all demonstrated the ability to be open that way and vulnerable that way to show how how powerful they really are.
Yeah.
And and I was like thoroughly impressed with the lady most of all. In the way that they displayed her, I didn't actually when I watched her fight, it looked more to me like a dance or like the wind or like just something in nature flowing than it did like a fight. And and I thought that was really well executed the way they showed her. Um,
That was
yeah,
like
I
the
enjoyed it.
legend of her. That was like the legend of her, and some of the other characters as well, right? When they show like there's like the legend of them, and then there's the actual like act. They're I don't know, like yes, they're like the best of the best, right? But their
Mhm.
losses in a way were wins for them because the point is maybe not for the lady so much, maybe the guy, right? And Jet Li. I mean, no, but I think she got it too. Even
She
though
did, yeah.
she killed herself through him, kind of. I think she understood it too. Like it's almost like he's like, yo, I'm like a virus, and I'm going to infect you with this version of what warriors need to do, which is the ultimate sign of peace or peacefulness or whatever the fuck for humanity, right? And it's like, but you wouldn't believe me unless I fucking died for it. Now you believe me.
Mhm.
And then I think she caught on from there, if that makes sense. And then Jet Li caught on from their thing as well, right? Almost like like it
Yeah.
spread. I'm like, yeah, man, that's interesting because you built them up with once again the legendary status of these guys, right, as fighters,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
then really the ultimate action was something as simple as self-sacrifice for the good of the many, if that makes sense. Which is,
Yeah.
yeah, that's I think that's cool. And the title hero, like it fits it. It fits as far as like that idea. Doesn't mean every hero should sacrifice themselves. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Well, there's in so many movies you see, you're building up to the final fight, and I usually say, all right, he's gonna start losing. He's gonna come
Yeah.
up with this show weakness because he has to overcome that weakness,
Yeah.
and then like if you can't just come in there, chop him up, and there's no story there.
Yeah.
And in this time, they did it like the opposite. They showed them coming in with strength and then just accepting themselves as sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like any one of them could have stopped it, prevented it at any time. And I guess they saw that there was the sacrifice would bring, like a better outcome. Was the way they saw it.
I mean, that's basically the end of the Matrix, right? Matrix Revolutions is the third movie where Neo like he can fight Smith for as long as he wants to, right? He's fucking Neo. But at a certain point, he's like, I just give up. Like, not give up, but I'm being the sacrificial martyr guy thing. Granted, you know, we we can move on from that nowadays. But in that time period where this movie's made, The Matrix is made, all these other movies are like that, the sacrificial hero. Fine, man. I don't hate that. If it's done right, it's cool either way. Like regardless of time period. I'm just saying, like you know,
What do you think about the king
what?
allowing himself to be killed too? Even though he didn't end up having the same finale, he allowed it. That yeah.
Wait. What? Did I miss that?
When the king gave the guy his sword
Oh,
and he turned his
yeah.
back.
Okay, yeah. Hmm. I think that was bravado more than some sort of martyr complex thing or hero complex thing. That seemed more like bravado, maybe. Am I wrong about that?
Well, I'm under the impression that the guy did go there to kill him. And I think that, like if the king would have attacked him, I think he would have killed him. Like he would have fought,
Hmm.
and he didn't. And like you were saying about this, like concept of contagion of that type of act. In
Yeah.
the end, the um, was it Nameless? Nameless didn't end up.
Yeah.
Um,
Nameless.
like he also just kind of like allowed himself to be killed.
I don't know,
I thought
man.
I thought that was really interesting.
I don't know. Like it felt like by the end, it felt like Jet Li got close. Nameless got close enough just to prove that, like, yo, I'm here and I can fuck you up, but I'm choosing to. I'm picking peace. Like peace is the ultimate uh, solution for all of this, if that makes sense. Like for empires, for fighters, for all of it, the ultimate solution or idea is peace. Thus, I got this close to you. Like even though the king was skeptical, right?
Hmm.
But Jet Li and Nameless figured out a way to get so close to him, enough to him, towards like, yo, I could fucking kill you. Like I'm better than
Yeah.
you. I'm a savage fighter. I can fuck you up and kill you. But I need to show you because otherwise you wouldn't believe it's real. Just like the dude did with his girl, where he's like, yeah, I needed to like not block your sword from killing me. And she's like, you're gonna like I figure like in her head she's like, well, I'm gonna do this little move right here, but he's gonna block it, so whatever. And then he doesn't block it. And then she's like, what the fuck? You could have blocked that, dude. What the fuck? I didn't want to like I didn't actually want to kill you, but like you could have blocked that. I knew you blocked that all day and night, bro. What happened? He's like, I needed you to know that I'm for real, bro. Like I'm for real about this piece that like that's the ultimate thing. Yes, we can fight forever and ever because we're both savage fucking fighters, but I need you to know that like I'm willing to lose for the ultimate solution, which is I guess peace. I'm like, I don't know, man. I like that shit, bro. I like that. And I think Jet
So
Li was doing that with the king. That,
I think he ended up doing that, but I believe he went to kill him, but
I
he
mean,
but the response that he got from the king, like, how is he going to be a hero if he just goes and kills him like in his back or something like unarmed, and like that would be completely weird. And so um I mean I expected them to fight, and they didn't. So he ends up walking away. And what so I think that he changed because of the king's reaction, that he decided not to do it.
okay.
And what switched the whole thing was the crowd of people. They all asked for permission, and I think,
Well, they were yelling for it, like, "Yo, kill the,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
execute him, kill this fool,
yeah,
whatever."
which
Yeah,
was very reminiscent of like the Pontius Pilate situation, and you see in the Jesus movies, like where they
yeah.
all kind of yell for Jesus to be executed, and he gave in. Like I think though, like he accepted or he waved yes or something, but um, which
Yeah.
seemed to me like a weakness of the king. It seems like he gave in to the crowd. I think he didn't like yell, "Yeah, kill him," or you didn't see like anger or vengeance in him. It was more like acceptance.
But it's like, but he wouldn't have known unless he went for the kill, right? And if he sees Jet Li is not gonna do triple dipple fucking backflips and dodge all the air, like we saw him in the, or aesthetically in the movie where he's like,
Mhm. That
cracking
he could have.
arrows and shit like that, like, protecting himself, right? And blocking
Oh,
arrows and shit like that, right? Earlier in the movie. So I think the
so you
idea
mean
was,
like, okay?
I think
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
idea was just like the lovers, right? The dude
Hmm.
who let the girl
Okay.
hit him. Like it's that scenario where it's like, you won't believe me until you see this kind of sacrificial moment. Now there's like, you believe me that I'm willing to end my existence for the sake of this thing surviving, this idea of peace or whatever the fuck. So I think Jet Li was like, yeah, I will willfully walk out at my own pace with all these fucking killers surrounded, like all the soldiers and shit like that, right? And you have the priest guys begging for his death, and he's like, I will walk here and calmly stand against the wall. You shoot your arrows, and I will not move. I will eat all these arrows, just so you know I'm for real about this. This is not bullshit. I'll end my existence to show you that, like, peace is the answer. This is not me bullshitting you. And by the way, this isn't like some sort of strategy where I'm like trying to trick you or anything like that, because I got close enough to where I could kill you if I wanted to, right? This ain't some bullshit strategy. I'm like, I got close enough to where I could actually kill you and take over your shit, but I choose not to for the sake of this being the ultimate solution, which is, peace, essentially. It's a little simplistic in words,
that makes
but
a lot of sense.
I think I like it, man. I like it.
That makes sense because of the parallel with the couple.
Yes, I think that was the real story that happened.
Yeah.
And but who knows? Once again, that could be just reflections of like they lay out certain scenarios, and whatever your personality type is, you might like lean towards one story versus another or whatever the fuck, which is also, in my opinion, brilliant filmmaking. I think that's fucking cool as shit to be like to lay out all these scenarios and you're kind of guessing, and your personality kind of dictates what you think actually happened, if that makes sense. But I do see the sacrifice at the end where the arrows hit and his body is the only missing spot in the wall where the arrows hit, right? It's like, okay, he actually killed himself and died for that, right? I'd have to assume. But
I think so.
I had to see this thing again, man. I have to watch this movie again.
Well, even the text after it confirmed that.
Oh,
right?
yeah, true. True that. I forgot about that shit, bro. That is true.
But if you tie it to the couple, then you see like, well, he when he gives the wave, to go ahead and shoot him, like you could almost like place that scene on top of this, and it's like, well, you could have moved, right? Like because he's that capable, right?
Yeah, he's a savage.
And so like that dialogue, if you overlay that, even though they weren't like a couple, but if you overlay that same situation, that kind of reinforces like that message.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I could have.
I think
but you wouldn't believe me.
Man. So fucking cool. But yeah, I have to watch this again because I think there's more. I think I missed a lot more than I picked up on, if that makes sense, from this movie. I think there's other subtle things that are happening in the beginning where if you don't have the quote unquote decoder ring of the finale of the movie, you don't exactly see what they're doing in the beginning, if that makes sense. So I need to rewatch this one, but at this point, 2,000,000% recommending. I like this. I like this movie. 2,000,000% recommending. And my grade, as of right now, I'm going 7.7, 7.8, but I think the grade will go up if after I watch it again. I think that, but that's intuition. Who knows? But as of now, it's, to me, a really good film for me. Especially the messaging and the subtext and all that shit. I think that's fucking beautiful and awesome. What do you got, Jesse? You recommend grades? Anything you want to do?
Yeah, I have a very strong recommendation. And the only one other thing I wanted to say about the King's reaction to the guy is, which kind of fits together. Like once you talked about that last scene, it's there was one moment where he tells the guy when he's up, well, you're at 10 paces, so you or he said, like he explained that, like basically that he can be killed. Like he showed a respect for the guy that said, well, like I'm in trouble or something, like he said something that, I'm in a bad situation then because you're at the proper distance. So I think he was showing a respect to him, even though he turned his back. I don't think it was like a taunt. I think he was actually like saying like, okay, I had a good run. So I think it was a sign of respect.
Okay. Like, yo, go ahead and feed my skepticism of what you're doing here and all that shit. Right? My cynicism of you being here. Go ahead, feed it. Or whatever. Like kinda like if you want to go come and kill like I'm kinda helpless. Right? But the king could defend himself. We've seen him fight
Yeah.
in a movie, so
Yeah.
he could defend himself.
Okay.
So I think it was like kind of like, yo, this beautiful, lovely idea that you're saying to me isn't real. So here's my sword. What do you think now? And then he fucking does all that shit, and he's like, I'm not gonna kill you, and he gives him the sword back. Essentially, I want to say pause for that scene, by the way, but whatever. He gave him his sword back. I don't know. I think it needs a rewatch, Jesse.
Yeah.
For me personally, at least. I think there was subtle messaging throughout the movie, but I had no context until I saw the ending of it, and I'm like, okay, now I'm getting you. And thus, I want to look back at the beginning of the movie with those eyes of like, okay, I get what the decoder moment is. Now I want to see the rest of this movie in that fashion. So, but nonetheless, like, absolutely intrigued, absolutely recommending, absolutely getting a good score. Regardless, it's next different case scenario. The grade goes up. That's it. That's I think the only outcome from rewatching it is that the grade goes up. Maybe it stays where it is. But the only like change of outcome is going up. I think there's something here with this movie, and I fucking like it. And the title is Hero, bro. I like that shit, bro. I love my fucking hero movies. I love that shit, bro. So, all right. Anything else, Jesse, you want to say before I end this recording?
No, that's all. It was good.
All right. Awesome. Hero, starring Jet Li and some other savages and beautiful Asian women. Hero, 2002. Check it out. There's your review.